Welcome to This Explainer. Look, we are jumping right in today because we're unpacking something so completely ordinary, so totally everyday that you probably don't even think twice about it. Picture this. You walk into a brightly lit fast food joint, you step right up to the counter, or maybe you're tapping on one of those huge touchscreens now, and you order a burger, some fries, and a drink. You pay, you get your food. It honestly feels like the simplest, most straightforward transaction in the world, right?
But I want you to really think about it. Are you truly just buying lunch? We're going to shift our perspective today and step into a slightly darker reality. Because behind that quick, easy exchange is actually a massive hidden world of dark finance. You aren't just a hungry customer. You are actively interacting with one of the most sophisticated, meticulously engineered systems ever created.
Just think about a perfectly normal $12 meal. It feels so innocent, doesn't it? Just the standard cost of grabbing a quick bite on your lunch break. But behind that simple $12 receipt is a relentless, highly tuned money-making machine. Every single penny of that $12 was calculated, optimized, and practically extracted before you even pushed open the front doors. So, let's dive into this dark blueprint. Today, we're exploring exactly how they do it. We'll be walking through the fast food illusion, mind and menu games, controlling time and space, the invisible empire, and finally, harvesting customer habits.
Starting off with part one, the fast food illusion, where they're selling you a whole lot more than just a meal.
Which leads us right into part two, mind and menu games, and how they engineer the trap.
You see, the psychological manipulation actually kicks in the exact second you tilt your head up to look at their menu. Literally nothing up on those glowing boards is left to chance. It perfectly illustrates this concept called the decoy effect. Basically, they want you to buy the most expensive option, but they have to make it feel like you're the one finding a brilliant deal. So, say a small meal is $8, the medium is $10, and the large is $12. Your brain spots that tiny $2 jump from 10 to 12 and goes, wait a second, for just $2 extra, I get so much more food. That large meal was specifically designed to look like an absolute steal, so you walk away feeling like a savvy shopper who saved money. But in reality, the system just successfully tricked you into spending more than you originally planned.
And it gets crazier when you look at the profit breakdown hidden inside that combo. You probably assume the burger is the main event for them, right? Actually, no. The most profitable items by a mile are the side dishes. Take the drink. A large soda might cost the company, what, less than 30 cents to make, and that includes the cup. Yet they turn around and sell it to you for $3 or more. It is hilariously bold when you really think about it. Literally 1,000% markup on some carbonated water and syrup. And the fries? Another absolute goldmine. Potatoes and oil are dirt cheap, yet the markup is insane. A lot of experts will tell you that those little side items generate way more profit than the main sandwich ever could.
But how do they guarantee you actually want to buy all that in the first place? Well, they engineer the craving. Fast food companies have scientists who spend endless hours pinpointing the absolute perfect biological ratio of sugar, salt, and fat. When you eat that hyper-engineered combination, it's like hitting a biological jackpot. It instantly lights up your brain's reward system. The more pleasure your brain gets, the more intense the craving becomes. So this isn't just about satisfying a rumbling stomach. It's a biological habit loop designed to make sure you come back, chasing that exact feeling, even if you aren't actually hungry.
And here's the thing. They definitely don't wait for you to grow up to start this conditioning. Just think about the bright colors, the funny mascots, the toys and the kids' meals, the massive play areas. We look at that and think it's just innocent entertainment. Actually, scratch that. It is highly calculated strategy. By conditioning kids and building that deep brand loyalty from a super young age, they are practically guaranteeing future revenue. If a kid grows up associating a brand with pure joy, they're going to keep buying it for decades. It's staggering to realize, but locking in that loyalty early makes a single customer worth thousands upon thousands of dollars over their lifetime.
Moving on to part three, controlling time and space, where things get incredibly physical.
Because you see, the manipulation absolutely does not stop at the menu. It bleeds right out into your physical environment. Ever been just walking down the street and suddenly that incredible smell of fresh fries or grilled burgers hits you and suddenly you're starving? Yeah, that pulling sensation is no accident. It is a highly intentional marketing strategy. They are literally weaponizing your own senses against you to get you to walk through those doors and open your wallet. Then there's how they manipulate space itself. These chains aren't just throwing a dart at a map and building a restaurant. They meticulously choose strategic locations with massive foot and car traffic. Right next to schools, at the busiest highway exits, wedged into shopping centers, clustered around office parks. Convenience is honestly one of the biggest products they sell. They know that if they place themselves perfectly in your daily path, eventually it just becomes easier to give in and pull over than it is to resist.
And once you do pull over and get inside, time is money. Speed is literally everything. Every single footstep in that kitchen is choreographed. The machines are placed for absolute maximum efficiency. If a restaurant can optimize its layout to save just 1 single second per order, that means more customers served every single hour. And when you multiply those saved seconds over a whole year across thousands of locations, we are talking about millions of extra dollars in revenue just from saving a second.
They also completely manipulate your sense of timing with limited time offers. You absolutely know the ones. Only available this month, or special holiday edition. They are purposefully creating artificial scarcity to trigger a massive fear of missing out. They want you rushing in to buy on their schedule because you're worried the chance is going to vanish. Scarcity drives up demand. And frankly, it works like a charm every single time.
Which brings us to part 4, the invisible empire, and the completely hidden business model.
So let's step out of the kitchen for a second, because the business model we all see is just the tip of the iceberg. This part is a massive perspective shift. Many of the world's biggest fast food giants, and McDonald's is probably the most famous example of this, are actually sitting on incredibly valuable real estate empires. Rather than just making their cash off the food, they are pulling in absolute fortunes from the land and the buildings leased to their franchisees. In a lot of ways, the burgers and fries are just a Trojan horse. The real underlying business is the property itself.
And today, that invisible empire extends right into your phone. We all love a digital coupon or using a loyalty app to get some free food, right? But every single click, every swipe is a data harvest. These apps are basically digital surveillance tools. They are constantly learning exactly what you like, the exact time of day you usually buy, and precisely what kind of discount it takes to trigger you into spending. They're scooping up your personal data so they can turn around and sell to you with absolutely terrifying effectiveness.
And finally, part 5, harvesting customer habits, which is really the ultimate prize for them. Because at the end of the day, their most profitable product isn't a burger or fries or even a fancy app. It's the habit. These companies do not need you to walk in and drop $100 all at once. That's not how they get rich. They get rich by getting millions upon millions of people to relentlessly repeat the exact same daily habits, spending just a few bucks over and over and over again. One meal, one drink, multiplied by millions of people globally every single day. That is the secret to how totally ordinary, cheap food transforms into an untouchable billion-dollar empire.
So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought. The next time you walk past a fast food joint, really look at the prices. Notice the combo deals. Pay attention to that incredible smell pulling you toward the door. Realize that you are stepping into one of the most highly sophisticated psychological and financial systems ever built. And ask yourself, when you smell those fresh fries, are you truly just buying lunch, or are you just feeding the machine? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you next time as we keep unpacking the fascinating world right in front of us.